Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's been a couple weeks, but at Taskmaster and I are back here for our Monday update on InLeo. And a couple of the topics we're going to cover today are the shorts, the new feature on the InLeo menu. And we're going to do a quick recap of last Friday's Lions Den and what Vaultec talked about VSC. So, Task, if you want to get us started.
Sure. Well, the Lions Den was, he did most of the talking. I just asked some questions. But basically, the latest as of then, which is no longer the latest, they had set it up where Ethereum wallets work with VSC. So somebody doesn't need a Hive account to interact with VSC. They can interact with their Ethereum wallet. Now, that doesn't mean a whole lot because I don't think there was a whole lot to do on there because I don't think the EVM tokens are on there as of yet. But you could, I guess, technically interact with Wrap Bitcoin. But since that time, they've gone live with Hive. And so now you can hold wrapped Hive essentially in your Ethereum wallet. So you don't need a Hive account. It's basically a light account. What it does is it allows any of the Ethereum wallets to hold VSC Hive, and that's what it ultimately is. And I guess VSC HBD for that matter, because they're both on there. So I mean that's a big deal where you could simply gain access to Hive without having to go through and get a Hive account and be onboarded and all that other stuff. And he did
Yeah.
mention that ultimately they will be able to give some features to that wallet, such as posting and things of that nature. But that's not there now, and it probably won't be in the near term. They have other things they're working on.
Okay, so an Ethereum wallet is like MetaMask or something like that, or
MetaMask, XDeFi, whatever.
okay,
It's just like if you're on Leo Dex and you connect your MetaMask or you connect your XDeFi, and now you can hold Leo in that wallet. Now it's Arbitron Leo, so it's Leo on the Arbitron chain, but it allows you to hold Leo in your XDeFi wallet or your MetaMask wallet. And then, of course, you can trade Leo, Arbitron Leo for Arbitron USDC or whatever else is on there. So that is really what ends up happening is you could take an XDeFi or a MetaMask wallet, take your Hive and swap it over to VSC and swap your Hive for wrap Bitcoin. So you can wrap your Hive and wrap your Bitcoin and swap it for wrap Bitcoin, or vice versa.
okay. And when a coin is or token is wrapped, what exactly does that mean?
It's
Like,
on another chain. So wrap
okay,
Bitcoin, when Bitcoin's on Ethereum, that's wrap Bitcoin because Bitcoin naturally only exists on Bitcoin. It can't exist anywhere else. So what it is you wrap it. It's a derivative basically. And what it does is then you can put it on Ethereum, you can put it on VSC, you can put it on Hive Engine. There's a version of Bitcoin on Hive Engine, I believe, or at least there's a version of Litecoin. Those are technically wrapped versions because they're not on the main chain. And to get off of Hive Engine, you have to go back to the main chain. So you'd have to send the wrapped um, Litecoin on Hive Engine to your Litecoin wallet, to your actual wallet. Um,
okay,
and that's how you move around chains because they put a similar version. So when somebody feeds in, it's just like we do with Hive. you have Hive and you have Swap Hive. Swap Hive is not Hive. Swap
It's
Hive is on Hive Engine.
okay.
It's a wrap version, and so what
Okay.
you do is you submit your Hive and you get wrapped Hive, and that's what it is. So it changed the form of Hive. Now that wrapped Hive, suppose or Swap Hive, excuse me, is backed by one Hive, so you can convert it back. So that's how you can take your swap hive and buy Leo or buy whatever you want on Hive Engine. Well, VSC
Okay.
is doing the same thing. There will be a way to drop your hive onto VSC and you get whatever they call it, V Hive or whatever the hell name they come up with. They got like SHBD. Well, if you drop your HBD into, well, you got into VSC, you get your SHBD. So there's all kinds of ways that that opens up and allows people to interact back and forth. And so if you, for example, want to go from Hive to Coinbase, you could take your Hive, go to VSC, drop it in there, swap it for wrap Bitcoin, and send the wrap Bitcoin, unwrap the Bitcoin, and head back to to Coinbase. Eventually, you'll have Litecoin and Doge. I think those will be added fairly quickly. Um, so this is all stuff in the process that will make Hive more accessible.
And is this in the hopes of eventually getting people onto Hive, or
It's Hive's an island. You can't get anywhere with Hive. It's a pain in the ass to
mm,
get in and out of the coin. So what it's doing is, if somebody wants to speculate on Hive, on the Hive coin, how do they do it? How do they get it? I mean, if you're on Binance, okay, fine, but not in the United States. Coinbase doesn't have it. So how do you, without accessibility, it's a pain in the ass. So ultimately, yes, it is to get more people on Hive, but it's also to get utility to the token, because when you start to build ecosystems out um, surrounding these tokens, people need to be able to get a hold of them. And if you can't get a hold of them, it's pretty useless. And that's been Hive's problem, is people haven't been able to get a hold of them. And that's what Leo Dex is trying to address with the cross-chain swaps. And so you can go from any of these chains into Leo, which then allow you to get into Hive or HBD or whatever. So all of this is factoring into that.
yeah, because I mean, I use Coinbase to buy Litecoin and then deposit it for swap LTC and then sell the swap LTC to get my swap Hive to finally buy other tokens.
Yeah, and that's a pain in the ass, number one. And number two, you got a lot of fees and you don't have a lot of liquidity and all that other shit. And so this is a way that if VSC gets some liquidity and gets a lot of money on it, then you'll be able to go from Hive or Swap Hive or Wrapped Hive, whatever it's called, right into Bitcoin or Bitcoin back to or Litecoin or whatever. And that's how you're going to be able to do it. So in your scenario, you have Coinbase, you go to Litecoin, you would then wrap it to get it into your wallet on VSC, and then you just swap it for Hive. Or potentially you might be able to swap it for Leo. There might be a Leo version on VSC at some point. I don't know. I wouldn't see why Cal wouldn't put it on there. In fact, I wouldn't see why, if the liquidity is there, he wouldn't migrate over to VSC. Maybe not exclusively, but I would say move a fair portion over to VSC. But that's something to see how it works down the road, I guess.
Well, that's really interesting. And that was, I mean, I got to listen to some of the live on Friday, but you were on there for a little while, weren't you? I mean,
It was
you
about an
guys.
hour and 15-minute call, so
Oh, okay
little
then.
shorter than we usually do. But we don't usually have guests other than like Cal or Simple Game or somebody who's in Leo.
Uh-huh.
But I was going to talk about it, and I just messaged him and said, "You want to come on?" He said, "Sure."
Oh, nice. Okay. And now shorts. That's the newest feature on the InLeo menu. How do shorts work? Like, do you
You just go to a thread, you hit the camera in the thread, and it gives you a pop up window. It asks you to load your video, which I think has to be 60 seconds or less.
okay?
Uh, you put a title on it, you put a description on it, which that's like the description is actually like your thread, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then you submit and it encodes it. And if it works, which it works probably 90% of the time, then it'll post within, usually a few minutes, but it says 10 minutes on there. Um, I say when it works because sometimes they get lost. I don't think that's on the Leo end. What it appears to be is it appears to be on the Hive Street Speak side, where sometimes there'll be encoding problems or whatnot. But I've been finding a much better ratio. I have to resubmit one or two a day, um, but I get probably 85%, 90% of them all to go through, and we are at 1457, I think. I'm counting the threads or the shorts each day, um, because we want 2,000 by the end of the month, and so we got like 5 days left to get another 530 or whatever. So hopefully we'll hit 2,000 and then we can set a much higher level. But it's something that if people get involved with, it's very easy to do. You can do it off your mobile using Keychain. I would suggest that, or you can even do it on a laptop, and you can do it horizontal, which a lot of sites don't allow. But you can upload horizontal shorts and it'll take it. And so I've been playing with some other things to take my long short form videos and cut them up and get a whole bunch of shorts out of it and then post those. So it's a way of creating more content and getting a lot more content on there, and hopefully getting stickability content, which Django and I talked about. You and I have talked about with movies on Leo and music on Leo. Again, we don't have a recommend engine, but at a certain point in time when we do, if you're doing a short about the price of Bitcoin today, that doesn't do much. But if you do a short about a do-it-yourself, how to do a do-it-yourself little hack, I mean that's invaluable. Or how do you add up columns using an Excel spreadsheet? If you can do a screenshot off your screen, a video off your laptop, you do that and you post it. That stuff has value, and that's the key. And we added, or Cal added, the development team added the shorts page. So you go there and you can scroll through just like you can on TikTok or on um, YouTube.
You
But at this point in time, there it's just basically a latest. There's no recommend. But again, with Leo AI and recommend engines, hopefully that'll change where the content will start to be catered to what the individual likes.
so are people doing, just their own, or are they adding shorts that they
All kinds.
find on
All
up?
kinds. There's people who are uploading. There's all kinds, and that's what's going to happen. I'm doing all my stuff. Some people are just playing a video on their phone and doing a screen record, and then posting that as a short, and then link it back to the YouTube video or wherever they got it. Others have their own content on TikTok that they're putting up. Uh, Others are creating, stuff like I just said, taking a longer video and splicing it up. There's just going to be all kinds of stuff, and that's a great thing about shorts. And it's 45 seconds or 60 seconds or 30 seconds. You don't give a shit about quality. You just want stuff that people find interesting and will watch. And in this instance, I go back to it's a total quantity game. We get 2,000 by the end of this month. The goal next month needs to be 10,000 in the month of September. And it doesn't take much to put up 10 shorts. It really doesn't. I mean, if you're around throughout the day, you can put a few up here and there. And, it's just going to be to your benefit down the road, because if things start to take off, and as we get a recommend engine, as we get Leo AI, your name will start to appear in front of other people. Your videos will start to appear in front of other people. And that's what that's what people want. But you have to put the stuff up, stickability. I mean, it's going to be the same thing with text threads. But again, it's if you're putting up dopey stuff. Hi, good morning. How's everybody doing? If that's all you're writing, I mean, that doesn't carry any weight. If you're mixing in stuff like, what I'm doing with movies on Leo right now, hopefully that back again to the stickability aspect.
It was funny because I saw that Double Indemnity, and my dad was looking for movies. He was looking for Turner Classic. He was like, I thought we had Turner Classic movies, and that was one of the ones that came up on the guide on his Spectrum. That's a weird coincidence. I'm like, are we on Facebook now?
Well, no, yeah. I just completed. In fact, I dropped in the Threadcast. I completed this morning the top 100 movies of all time according to IMDb.
Oh, wow.
And I set up, and each of them are a thread. Each of them has a poll. Each of them can be commented on. And I'm thinking of expanding it out more. I'll have to consider that and see what I have in the long form database. But I created a long form page that has the top 100 videos. And if you click on any of those links, and again, this will be redundant, I think, once we get to Leo AI, once we get recommend. But for now, that's a page that can be shared. People can click through and they can comment, they can upvote on any of those threads. And they can do that forever. Those will be up there. And so the more of that, I also did the 8 Harry Potter films, set up a page for that. I'm probably going to do, I don't know, I might do Star Wars next because I want to test something out. Then I'll do like war films and just different things to get this content up there and to get stuff that people can vote on. Because I'm going to be transitioning here, I already am, to transactions. We need transactions. That's what Hive really needs. That's what the barometer is. Whether they're financial transactions, whether they're votes, whether they're comments, whatever they are. We need that activity. And so if we can get a film over the next, I don't know, 2 to 3 months to get 50 or 60 votes on it, that's huge for Leo. And, to give people something to do, it's like, okay, here's 100 films. Just click on them if you've seen them and vote. And, I would say the average person has seen at least 25 to 30 at a minimum of the top 100. Maybe they didn't see the old Cary Grant stuff, North by Northwest, but they certainly saw Private Ryan, or they certainly have seen, some of them. And that's, that's, like you said, Double Indemnity. I mean, that's Fred McMurray, an all-time great classic. Vote on it. Give it a comment. Yeah, I just watched this with my dad the other night. It's great. It's probably my 8th time seeing the movie. Great. The 8th time through is the first time I've seen it. This is the stuff that, and it's on blockchain. and part of the impetus behind the whole movie on Leo thing initially was because how do you trust Amazon with IMDb? How do you trust Rotten Tomatoes? They can game their system. They can change it. They can bot it. They can do whatever they want. Well, maybe they didn't, but how do you know? Well, on Hive, you see all the votes. There's no way to gamify it. Now, people can set up bot accounts and go vote everything, but then you see it's a bot account. But Leo cannot change it. Leo cannot mess with it. Leo cannot alter it. I can't alter it. It's there. I mean, I could delete the thread, but I can't alter the vote count even though I set it up. Even though I set up the thread, I have no control over the vote count. So this is where the transparency comes in. It makes it for a much more trustworthy system. And so that's where I was trying to do that with full pages before, but there's no polling. We never got the polling. And so I said, okay, let's go this direction and, see what we can incorporate. And it's the same thing we were doing with the music. And in fact, I spent this weekend, I went back through, remember those A to M or N to T?
Right, right.
I went
Uh-huh.
through those pages and looked at the ones I did, and I clicked on them and I swapped out the embed code for the YouTube link. And so I was updating that because I know damn well once this recommend engine comes in, if these things are tied together under Music on Leo, and you have, I don't know, the Bee Gees or whatever, pick a group. If all of a sudden somebody's on that song and recommends another thread, but the video isn't there, now you're recommended dead threads. And so I figured I got to just try to start spending time cleaning up as many songs a day as I can just to get that a little better.
Yeah, I
Because
know there's a boatload of mine that are
yeah, I
probably
was going through some of the singles list, and I was going through them, and some I did, some Boomer Tunes did, and it's like, well, it's I can clean up what I can clean up, so I clicked on them and changed my stuff, but I can't change it for anybody else. But
right.
this is where we need to start thinking about what we're doing. And so that's really my focus with shorts and music on Leo and movies on Leo. They were kind of on the back burner, but I had the bright idea of like, okay, let's screw this. Let's get the polling set for the stuff that we can do now. And I've done, 108 movies, and I'll do a bunch more. And over the course of a few months, if I can get a few thousand movies up, then that'll, I'll handle the majority of the stuff. That should be decent to say, hey, we have a movie database that people can vote on.
There's some progress being made, and yeah, because this is the movie post you or thread you just put up. And that's the first time I've seen polls in a while that they hadn't been working for quite some time.
Yeah, well, and they made changes to the site, and people forget about them and all that shit. So it's it's just these tools have to be used. And again, and I'll probably kill myself because I'm stupid that way. But I'll probably go through that top 100 and edit them and add more to those threads. But right now, I'm just gonna probably do, like I said, I might do the Star Wars next, and I might do like war films. Go through the top 100 war films of all time, get a list of that. And, I mean, some of them I've already done because some of them are just in the top 100 film. Like Saving Private Ryan is, I guarantee, a top 100 war film, but I know it's a top 100 film as ranked by some of these sites. So um, I don't have to do that again. I just put it in the page, and then it's good to go. So these are just things I've been talking about this for over a year now, maybe even 2 years, and it's don't think of where things are going. And I'll be honest with you, I figured it out this weekend when I went to those singles pages. And then you have the same thing I do. There's some pages where you're responsible for most of them. Like you picked a group that's you liked and you did most of it. Like with me, most of what was up there for like ACDC was mine. So you might have, I don't know, the Bee Gees, or I forget, but you have, there's a number of pages you set up that nine out of every 10 songs on there are yours. So you could go through that singles page and just click on them and then go to YouTube and get the link instead of the embed, and just edit it and put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll start, feeding. When the recommend comes back, that starts feeding boomer tunes to stuff that can be viewed. Nobody's going to click on a boomer tunes thread if it just says uh, Bee Gees Staying Alive and says music on Leo. There's no image. There's no video. But if you have the video there, then they'll click. Then there's a chance they'll click on it, and that's what we want. That's what you need to present, and that's what business building is, and database building. And it takes some editing, it takes some cleaning up, but I don't have to do this stuff over again. I just have to fix it, but it's already in there.
And that's the advantage of being premium, because you can go in there and edit it.
Yeah, well, that yeah, you're not going to be able to do that without premium, absolutely, and that is a benefit. And you know, again, I think this recommend engine, Leo AI, this is all very important for getting your stuff in there. And people are going to be surprised how often they see me, because I'm putting a lot of stuff in there on purpose. It's my intention to get a lot of stuff tied to my account that Leo AI can pick up on and the recommend engines can pick up on. And I'm using tags and I'm trying to relate it. And so, like when I updated a song, it said music on Leo. Okay. Well, if I'm doing ACDC, I hashtagged ACDC. That helps it just understand a little more. Or if it hashtag Kenny Rogers. Okay. I put hashtag Kenny Rogers. So it knows that this is a Kenny Rogers song tied to the other Kenny Rogers song. I guess I could have gone country and rock and gotten to that point too, but I don't want to be putting in 85 hashtags.
Yeah, they don't like you putting in any more than about 10 anyway. Like, that's.
Well, no, that's through blog posts. This you could, through a thread. You could just do 1,000 characters of hashtags if you want. I mean, there's no limit, but again, how many hashtags are you going to put on a song? It just gets to the point where it's just, you get too many hashtags, it's like, it's stupid. It just looks dumb. But, music on Leo and Kenny Rogers, I think that's sufficient. I was on the movies, I'm using movies on Leo plus polls, because I want to get this into the polls section. So that helps. I'm not putting polls in the music because, to be honest with you, most people don't vote on music. But and not all the music has polls anyway. So, but the movies, I'm putting polls on. I'm setting that up because people like to vote on movies. Less so on music. They will, but less so.
So is tomorrow the AMA? I thought I caught a glimpse of that.
It's Tuesday. I don't know. I haven't seen anything, pro or con, but I would presume it's going on.
I thought I saw a thread about the AMA.
Somebody may have threaded about it. I don't know. I would be, surprised if there wasn't. But again, it's just going back to all these tools are nice to have, but they have to be utilized. And
Right, because they cost money to develop anyway. I mean, they cost
well,
money to develop.
yes, and we want to. Again, a site will not take off unless there's stuff for people to do, and that I think that's very important. I think it's very important, and I've been that way since the beginning. Make it an information source, and data is becoming even more important, as we know. So that's why fill it all up, fill as much as you can. And uh, unfortunately, right now we're stuck with just text. So all the video content we put up doesn't amount to anything. All the images we put up amounts to nothing. So that's why, I mean, it's important to, like for quotes, to put up quotes in addition to a placard, put up quotes that are, sometimes you copy and paste the quote itself. This is why I don't just put a link necessarily to a news article. I'll put the headline and I'll put the first paragraph or two and link the headline, because then it's got a little bit of information.
So, like the YouTube videos, I should probably find a way to get a summary for them and put some of that up there too.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that if you want. That's a major pain in the keister. I mean, there are transcripts, and you could take the transcripts and feed it through a piece of software that'll condense it down, and then you can put it underneath. And I have done that with certain videos. You want to do it with some very short videos, like 3 or 4 minutes. Actually, the program I had didn't take there was a character limit to what you could put in. If you have a 20-minute YouTube video, that's like 12,000 characters or something. The limit's like 1,200 or something stupid. So, but then, you take that and you're adding different threads underneath because you can't fit it all. It exceeds the 1,000, even the summary a lot of times. So you break it up into 2 or 3 threads underneath, which is good. But, that's, again, a lot of work. So this is where it's a continual, I look at it as a continual balance in that between putting stuff up people will engage with. So whether that's polls, whether that's a thread that they'll respond to, something to comment on, something that they'll watch like a short or a YouTube video, or fill in the database. And all three need to be done. And they need to be done by everybody. So if that's not there, when I say everybody, collectively. Now, there's some people who are just putting up shorts and they're not adding to the database, which is fine. They're putting up 15 shorts a day. Hey, knock yourself out. Wonderful. Just go for it. But other people have to be adding content, and that's what the news for threads is. That's what once every couple of days I'll have a conversation with ChatGPT, usually about something technical. But then I'll not ChatGPT, I use Claude, about something technical, and then I'll copy and paste all that over and break it up into different threads under technology. In fact, maybe I'll do one later today. Did you put up your motivation, right?
No, I didn't put that up yet because
maybe I'll once you get that up, I'll try out I haven't tried Claude on this. I'll talk to Claude about motivation, see what I come up with, and see if I can put together 15, 20 threads, underneath a thread of this what Claude said, and see what just as a test, see what comes up.
Yeah, because I was trying to put it up under the other account and it wouldn't come up. It wouldn't show up even in the feed at all. And it said it had something to do with my reputation. I guess I haven't done enough on that account. So I moved it over to the main account, and I was doing it every day except Monday when I do this one. Now.
Yeah, what you might need to do is out of that other account, you just may need to spend a week or two commenting out of that to see if you can get some votes. Maybe submit some shorts out of that account to get some votes. Things of that nature. I didn't realize there was a reputation required.
Yeah, I didn't either until I tried doing because you told me it should be in a different account because if I do.
Well, and even Friday, my Lions Den thread, which I do out of my main account, didn't even show up. I mean, it was there, it went through, but it didn't. We got to the 15, and it didn't show up at the top. It was missing in action. I don't know why. I mean, it was there the week before, but it just didn't show up.
And you do have a reputation, so come on.
Yeah, well, that was the second time that happened under that account where it just didn't show up. Um, I don't know. So that's where forwarding and rethreading and all that is very important. Not just to spam things, but as you're getting closer to a show, it's like, okay, rethread it, that type of thing. If it's not showing up at the top, but hopefully it'll work this Friday. Who knows? I'll have to see. Yeah, it might be just something at the time I did the node was wonky at the time I did it. Who knows? But did you also see under your profile there's a shorts tab?
No.
If you go to your profile on InLeo, the second column
Oh,
in,
yeah.
it's shorts
Okay.
next to blog. And if you click on that, you probably, since you haven't done any shorts, you probably have to go to somebody else's. But like
Right.
go to like my account, the LE account, not the main one. I don't do any shorts under that. But you see all my shorts there.
Come on.
Yeah, things are slow for me too.
All right. Cop an attitude. I don't care.
Well, anyway, I mean, you can check this out on your own.
Oh, that's why I put the at in there. That's probably why it didn't.
Yeah, I guess you don't need it on. Easiest way I do it is I just go to my own profile and then I back backspace my name out and then type the other name in.
Oh, it's coming up as no shorts found.
Under my account? No,
Yeah.
LE, not my main one.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do any under my main one. Taskmaster 4450 LE.
Now we're getting the error message. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the shorts page and there's all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, it's giving me error messages now. What the hell? I went to the shorts page. Oh, yeah. Looks like the shorts column on YouTube.
Here, let me send you the link and maybe it'll work if you just click right off the link. I sent it over Discord.
Okay.
So maybe if you click on that, maybe it'll take you right to it.
Oh yeah. Or that.
Yep. So that's a that's a big feature to have added, and
Wow.
now it's just up to us, the community, to start pushing as much stuff through as we can, and filling it up, and um, utilizing it.
So you do them on three speak, and then you bring them over to.
No, you don't do that. You do a short on your computer, then you go to InLeo, you go to Threads, and you press the camera in the thread box.
Okay, so you don't have to do the in between. Oh, cool. All right. I
No,
guess.
that's why I said you press the camera in the thread box. It up
Oh.
Then it gives you a pop up window on your PC, or on your mobile, and it'll ask you to choose your file. So then you go and it'll pull up the file, your file container, wherever you have it. You click on the video you want, and then you just, in fact, go to the main homepage
Okay. Ah, I
and
see it.
click the camera,
Uh huh. Give
and you
authority.
you see you get upload short. You get a pop up window, and you click on the camera at the top there, and it click on to add a file. You go choose your file, and then you
Oh,
type in the title, which will be the title on the video itself on three speak, and then you type in the description, which will appear in the thread, and that's in the description, where if you want to put your tags, you can put your tags also, and then you just hit the button, and it'll encode and then send it through, and that's all you need to do.
cool.
Now I compress my videos down before I do it, even on the shorts, but that's up to you. But I compress them down just to make it quicker. So I run it through Handbrake on the PC, and then I have an app on my phone that would just run it through and get it down to 1.5 megs or something. So it's very quick.
Okay.
And what we really need is how-to videos. But we need quotes. We need everything. We just need everything. We need comedy. We need, you name it. We need it. Stuff,
S-
people dancing.
Like there was a really cute short. I guess it was a short on Facebook this morning of a squirrel getting brushed with a toothbrush. And he was just totally sitting there, all calm and mellow. And I tried to share it on Facebook, and they removed it. They said, "Oh yeah, we removed your post because you were trying to get likes or comments." And well, no, I was just. I'm like, are you people serious? You'll put all that political vitriol out there and let it stay there and people fighting, but you don't want to put a squirrel getting brushed?
Yep. That's why put as much as you can on Leo. That's what it comes down to. The
Yeah,
more we get on there, the more network effect. Don't forget, network effect isn't always people. It is, but hopefully that'll lead into it. But the more we get in there, the more there is stuff to click on, the more there's stuff to share. If it is text, the more we're feeding Leo AI. So we got to get to 2,000 thread or 2,000 shorts and 120,000 threads by the end of the month. And don't ask
wow.
me how many threads we have. I have no idea. I think I checked about a week ago. My guess was 93, but maybe we can get that on the AMA tomorrow.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on today.
All right. We will catch you next week.
Yes, have a great day, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Okay. Ciao.
Bye bye.